Welcome to Rain Kids, a fun time each week where we come together and learn about Jesus and the things of God. My name is Miss Candace. We are so happy to see you again this week. And if you are watching for the first time, I'm happy to see you for the first time. We've got a great show in store for you today. But before we get into it, you know what to do it. It's time to shake a tail feather. You know what that means? That means it's time to dance, 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 dance. Woo! Yeah.
Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Oh yes, you reign. Lift you up, be exalted, O Lord, our God. Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Oh yes, you reign. Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Oh yes, you reign. We lift you up, we lift you
Mighty Savior, faithful Jesus. Mighty, you never fail. Savior, your love endures. Faithful, you never change. Jesus, I live forever. Mighty, you never fail. Savior, your love endures. Faithful, you never change. Jesus, I live forever. We lift you up.
be exalted, O Lord, our God. Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Oh yes, you reign. Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Be exalted, O Lord, our God. Oh yes, you reign. Lift you up.
That was such a great song. Did you dance along? I hope so. Well, everybody, it's time to check in on our friend Misty Ballerina. And there's a new friend we get to meet this week named Imani. I heard that Misty Ballerina was having a little bit of trouble this week because she was afraid of seeing people in the masks and hearing some things about the virus. But Imani has some really great advice for her. Let's check in and see how they're doing.
Imani? Imani? Hey, did you hear about the puppeteer with no hands?
Misty, Come on, you've been telling jokes all night. It's time to go to sleep. I can't believe this. It's 1 a.m. and you've been telling jokes all night.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. Not of the face mask or corona. No, I'm not afraid.
Misty, what? What are you doing?
Just a little nighttime jitters. That's all.
Are you saying you're scared? Is that why you don't want to go to sleep?
Well, not scared exactly. Just sort of scared.
Are you scared because of everything going on around us with coronavirus and having to stay home? I used to be scared by it.
You did? What happened? You don't seem scared now.
I remembered a scripture verse we learned from the Bible as part of a Sunday school lesson where our class talked about all of the different things we were scared of, like snakes,
Or the things in the closet with the big eyes.
or the creaking noise outside your window.
Yeah. So what was the scripture verse you learned?
Well, actually, there were two of them. The first is Psalms 56:3. David is talking to God and he says, "When I am afraid, I will trust in you."
That's good. When I am afraid, I need to trust in God.
And we know God will be there for us because of the second verse I learned. It tells us how to deal with our fears.
Okay, I'm ready for any help because being afraid is no fun.
It's Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you.
Wow, that's saying God is in control of everything.
Right. And he is always with us, even when we are afraid.
Hey, so I just have to remember when I am afraid to trust in God.
That's right, Misty. When we are afraid, we just have to trust in him. It will help you to feel better and less afraid.
Thanks, Imani. That's good to know.
Oh, and of course, God put some adults in our lives to help us. So don't forget that you can talk to your parents or another adult that you trust about how you are feeling. That will help you to make you feel better too when you are afraid.
Wow, Imani, I'm starting to feel better already. Trusting in God definitely works.
Okay, Misty, glad to hear you are feeling better. Can we please go to bed now? Because I am pooped.
Oh, sure, but before you go, want to hear a joke?
Misty, good night.
No, this one's good. I promise. Wait.
Misty, good night.
Money.
Isn't it so great to have a friend who's there with us when we're afraid? Imani was being a really great friend. You know, it feels so good to know that we don't have to be scared. Because we have Jesus as our friend, we can trust that He's going to take care of us. There was an awesome story in the Bible about a man named Peter. And Peter was one of Jesus's friends too. And there was a situation where Peter was afraid. And you know what? Jesus was there for him too. Come on, let's check it out.
Stories of the Bible. Peter walks on water. This is Peter.
Hey-o! Whoop!
Peter was a fisherman who was called by Jesus.
Hey!
Peter saw the many miracles of Jesus,
Whoa!
and he heard all his teachings. Great crowds followed Jesus wherever he went. One day after Jesus had done a great miracle, he sent the disciples in a boat across the lake while he stayed and sent the people home.
See ya!
Hi, Jesus.
After sending them home, Jesus went up into the hills by himself to pray. Meanwhile, the disciples were in trouble far away from land, for a strong wind had risen, and they were fighting heavy waves. About 3 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came toward them, walking on water. When the disciples saw him walking on the water, they were terrified. In their fear, they cried out, "It's a ghost!"
Hold on there.
But Jesus spoke to them at once. "Don't be afraid," he said. "Take courage. I am here." Then Peter called to him, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you walking on the water." So Jesus said, "Yes, come." So Peter went over the side of the boat
Whoa! You're awesome!
and walked on the water toward Jesus. But when he saw the strong wind and the waves,
Whoa!
he was terrified and began to sink.
Peter, help me!
"Save me, Lord!" he shouted. Jesus immediately reached out and grabbed him. Jesus said, "You have so little faith. Why did you doubt me?" When they climbed back into the boat, the wind stopped. Then the disciples worshiped him and said, "You really are the Son of God."
Whoa, did you see those big waves? I bet Peter was so happy that Jesus was with him. He could have been in big trouble. You know something? It doesn't matter what it is that makes you feel afraid. Because Jesus is with you, you don't have to be scared. Remember that verse that Imani shared with Misty? It says, "When I am afraid, I will trust in Jesus." Psalms 56:3. If you can remember that, you'll be in good shape. When I am afraid, I will trust in Jesus. Psalm 56:3. Now, last week, I promised you that our friend Auntie Asha was going to be with us today, and she was going to teach us how to make friendship bracelets. Guess what? Now is the time. I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to go get your supplies so that you can make a friendship bracelet with us.
Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I've called you by name, you are mine. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I've called you by name, you are mine. If you're scared of the dark, I'll be your guide and light. If the flood waters come, they won't wash you aside. If you're caught in a storm, I'm a safe place to hide. Don't be afraid, I am with you. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I've called you by name, you are mine. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I've called you by name, you are mine. And if you need a friend, oh, I won't let you down. If
Hi everyone, I'm Auntie Asha. I'm so excited to be creative with you today. Our friends are important parts of our lives. They have fun with us when we're happy, they comfort us when we're sad, and above all, they help us to be the best person that we can be. But the best friend to have in the entire world is Jehovah God. God helps us to be brave and strong, even when we're feeling afraid. Let's go and make some friendship bracelets to remind us how to be brave, strong, and kind when we love our friends. Are you ready to be creative? Come on, let's go!
First thing you want to do is grab your yarn. You can decide if you'd like to use a single color or multiple colors. Then you're going to grab some tape, your scissors, and a ruler. Now you want to measure out your yarn from about 12 to 18 inches. If you have a small wrist, you can use about 12 inches. If you want your bracelet to double over, 18 inches will be just fine. Once you have your yarn measured to the desired length, then you want to cut them. Make sure you have your parents help you with those scissors. Okay, now that you have all 3 strands of yarn, what you'd want to do is tie them in a knot at the very end. What that does is that creates an anchor for your braid. Just like that. Now it's time to make your braid. If you see here, we've secured the top part of the bracelet on that hook so that it's not going anywhere. If you don't have a hook like that, you can always tape it down to your table and begin the braid from here. What you can see here is Miss Asha is taking the outer string and she's crossing it to the middle each time. Can you see? You're going to continue your braid all the way down. And once you've braided a good part of it, you can test to see if it's long enough on your wrist. Here's an example of what I was saying. If you didn't have the binder clip, you can tape it down to your table, and that will help the braid stay secure while that will help the yarn stay secure while you're braiding. And she's going to do the same thing here with the braid. Take the outer yarn and bring it to the middle. Take that outer yarn and bring it to the middle. The outer yarn and bring it to the middle. It's okay if you don't get it right the first time. You might be able to ask a parent to help. You're going to keep braiding all the way until you get down to the very end. That looks like a great braid, Miss Asha. So now that your braid is all finished, you can tie it around your wrist. Now don't tie it too tight. but you want to tie it around your wrist so that it's secure, just like that. Looking good.
So, did you enjoy making your friendship bracelet? I know I had fun. As a matter of fact, I made more than one because I made one for myself, but I also made one for my friend. Now, I want you to do the same thing. Make a friendship bracelet for one of your friends and give it to them as a gift. I know they'll love it. Have a wonderful day, you guys. See you later.
Can you tell Auntie Asha thank you for helping us make friendship bracelets? I have mine all ready to give to a friend. You can make another one if you'd like and give to your friend. Well, you can hold on to it until you guys are together again and then give it to them. That would be so kind of you. Or you can give it to a family member. Well, friends, it's been great hanging out with you guys, as always. I just love our time together. I hope that this week you remember to trust in Jesus. And if you have a friend who's afraid, or if you have a brother or a sister that's afraid, I hope that you remember to remind them to trust in Jesus too. Before we go, will you pray with me? Dear Jesus, thank you for this day, and thank you for being a great friend. Lord, I lift up my friends to you, each and every one of them, wherever they are. And I thank you for being with them. I thank you that they never have to be afraid, and that all they have to do is put their trust in you, and you'll be right there to help them. Lord, I pray for their family, I pray for their safety, and I pray, God, that you would bless them this week, that their week would be full of peace and joy. In Jesus' name. If you pray that prayer with me, I believe that you are going to have an awesome week. It's going to be full of peace and it's going to be full of joy because Jesus is with you and he's your friend and he's helping you. That's all we have for you today. So I will see you next week. Have a great day. Bye, friends.